All right. Hey guys, welcome back to the Underground. Welcome to Interactive Chat Volume 9. Hope everyone's had a great week so far. Today we're going to be discussing a couple different things. In particular, um, got this Play magazine, which has PSVR2 featured in May's issue, and I'm going to tell you what it contained. As well as we've got a first look at Unreal Engine 5. Going to break that down, and some exciting new details about PSVR 2 that I can't wait to share as well. Before we get started, as you guys know, we've got a whole new layout, whole new thing. So still kind of in the test run phase, but hopefully everything works properly and you enjoy it. And yeah, I've been working my tail off to do it. Just appreciate everybody that subscribes and supports the channel. It goes a long way, so I appreciate you very much. Also have some cool new things to show off. Got some brand new merchandise. Oh yeah. Right now, none of this stuff is profitable for me. This is just if you want some PSVR Underground gear. Yeah, I can't wait to check it out, and actually we'll use it for like giveaways and stuff in the future. So that should be really, really cool, man. How's everybody doing? What is up, Black Ice? What is up, Rogue? Good to see all of you guys. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining in. Don't have a set time for what time I'm going to be doing these shows just yet. Aiming between probably 7:30 and which is right now, and then 8 o'clock p.m. But enough of that. Let's get into some exciting stuff. Of course, you can always catch me Monday on PSVR Gamescast Live over at PSVR Without Parole. I'm sure most of you are already subscribed. If you're not, go there. It's the #1 PSVR spot on YouTube, on the internet even. I will say it. Yes, it is true. But really exciting stuff here. So first off, we have this Play magazine that came out. But before we get to that, we're going to talk a little bit about Unreal Engine 5, which actually just debuted today. What is up, Aceville? Ready for the new season of Underground goodness? Let's go, season 2. I don't know. But yeah, of course, I'm going to be interacting with you guys a bunch. This is just a laid back thing where we have some discussions, talk about some awesome topics. I'm also going to be testing out some of my new gear, so hopefully everything looks and sounds just gravy. Big thank you. I've got the Patreon scroll going right now. Big thank you to all the Patrons that support me as well. Tons of shout outs I gotta give, man. And excited about this inaugural weekly episode of this. Hopefully can offer you something different. And more PSVR content is the idea here. So just really, really excited about this. But yeah, like I said, so Unreal Engine 5 has officially gone live, and we've gotten some interesting news about that and what it could entail for the future. The first thing they showed, of course, we're going to be having more info as time goes on. You got to remember, this is just the beginning of this gen. This gen was kind of slowed down a little bit by events in the world. What is up, virtual strangers? Super Galaxy Godstar. And so things are just feel like they're finally starting to get clicking, get going. And now we've got Unreal Engine 5 that has showcased their partners for the first time. And right here, boom, you can see in the top right corner, they have PlayStation VR2 listed as an official partner, meaning that Unreal Engine 5 already has PSVR 2 games in development for Unreal using Unreal Engine 5. And you might notice there's a bunch of different developers in there. You might notice a couple familiar faces, of course. And there's a couple that we can go through, but you see End Dreams, who brought us Fract, Shooty Fruity. They've really become like a premier developer that really I wasn't expecting them to become as big as they are. But it's really great to see because they're a great studio. I've even heard from other developers behind the scenes how awesome they are as a studio, how cool they are to work for. So really, really awesome that they've announced that, they've secured, I think it was $35 million in funding for, future projects. So they already have hinted at us plenty of hints that are obvious that they have PSVR2 projects in the works already. So that's going to be really, really exciting. You also see Supermassive Game. Now, while not confirmed, they're rumored to be working on a next-gen VR game. Pretty strong rumors, though. They've backed up with some good evidence. What up, Billy Goat? What up, Nick the Game Cat Owl? What up, PPO Kojima, Oak V3D? All right. Good to see you guys, man. Appreciate you jumping in, Sacred Grove, all of you guys. One that might go a little bit under the radar here, this will be kind of interesting, is you see People Can Fly on there. I don't know. It's like Where's Waldo looking for these logos of these things. But People Can Fly recently acquired Incuvo, who is currently in the process. They just launched Green Hell VR on the Quest 2. They've also partnered with Bloober Team, which has brought us Layers of Fear, which I didn't care for. I don't think that game's going to have as many issues with next-gen hardware, though, especially all the different features that they can work with. And then Blair Witch Project, which was absolutely fantastic. So just a taste of some of the developers. I mean, you even see Tarsier Studios who brought us Static. And PPO says, what did Supermassive do? They made a little game called Until Dawn Rush of Blood, my friend, and some others that we won't mention. But yeah, Until Dawn Rush of Blood is the reason I bought a PSVR, the reason I was curious about VR, and really kicked everything off for me in that regard. So there's a little bit of some other news regarding this, though. Not everything is as we were kind of hoping. You know, Unreal Engine 5 showcased these amazing tools right before the launch of PS5, and they had the Lumen and what is it called? The Lumen and the Lumen and Global Lighting. Hold on, I'll look up the name real quick so I don't sound like a fool, even though I already do. They were called Lumen and Nanite, and Lumen had to do with the global illumination stuff that they were using, and then Nanite was for like different textures, having these really fine detailed mapping and textures, and really, really impressive looking things. Now, unfortunately, Road to VR has broken the news to us that they posted this morning a report that said Epic releases Unreal Engine 5, but its headlining features aren't ready for VR. This comes from Ben Lang over there. What up, Ben Lang? So yeah, Lumen, it sounds like it won't ever work, although there is a possibility. You know, this is the thing. Again, these two features were heavily touted as like the premier headlining features, absolutely, with Unreal Engine 5. I don't think PSVR 2, yes, it's going to need it eventually, or something similar or something comparable in the future. But for right now, I mean, when they released that Matrix demo, I don't know how many of you played that Matrix demo, but that thing even had, as beautiful and impressive and amazing as that Matrix text demo was, it still kind of had some frame rate issues. And as we know, with PSVR 2, that is something that just cannot, that doesn't fly when it comes to VR, because that leads to motion sickness. So it is possible that over time, some of these things will be more optimized and more tailor-made for VR and work a lot better, maybe just have some functionality. But from a lot of the comments, a lot of the different things I've read, it sounds like Epic Games didn't really even have VR completely in mind when making this. I think they're focused on something else. Thank you so much for the donation, Nick the Game Cat Owl. As you can see, still working on some things. That's supposed to be Astrobot dancing. And by the way, guys, if you want to donate, I highly recommend going to the description, going to streamlabs.com/PSVR Underground and donating there. If you do that, all the so YouTube takes a huge cut. So if you want to just donate directly to me, I highly recommend, and don't give YouTube the money. You can give me a tip, and you get an Astrobot dance. I'm actually more disappointed about that. I will show you what the Astrobot dance looks like. In fact, let's do a little. This is what it was supposed to look like. Yeah, buddy. Also for new subscribers, I have, John donated $100. Thanks so much, man. Also for new subscribers, you get a little wave from Quill as well. So really cool things I'm tinkering with. This is only the beginning as well. This is the brand new layout, but this is going to evolve over time. And I have so many amazing features. I can't wait to kick off and let you guys tinker with. It's going to be like playing a game while we're chatting about PSVR. It's going to be so cool. I don't even know if some of the things work yet, but there is some stuff I've enabled. So anyways, let's get back to the news here. The article from Ben Lang says, this week Epic Games released the latest version of its next-gen game engine, Unreal Engine 5. Though the new versions bring improvements in many areas, most notable features are Lumen, global illumination, and Nanite, micro polygon geometry. Thank you. He put it way better than I did. which could be game changers for VR immersion. Unfortunately, the company says neither feature is ready for VR developers. And what seemed to have happened here, they actually kind of specify, is that they said that they're not VR ready yet, and they said, quote, while we have no time frame to share in terms of Lumen and Nanite support for VR experiences, we are exploring how to bring those UE5 features to additional platforms, the company told Road to VR. They said VR developers can leverage most of Unreal Engine 5's production-ready tools and features, such as the new UI, the new suite of modeling tools, creator tools such as Control Rig, Metasounds, and World Partition for large open environments. And when I was looking myself at the Unreal Engine 5 showcase website, it did talk a lot about introducing tools to make huge open worlds a lot easier. Here, let's get some Stride on the screen. What a good game this was. But what's up, Hugh Guyver? What's up, all of you guys? Thank you. You like the Astro Dance? Me too, man. Who doesn't love Astrobot? So lovable. But so it's going to be interesting to take a look or to see how this develops. Now, like I said, PlayStation and PlayStation VR2 are listed as official partners. We already know some developers are developing games using Unreal Engine 5 that are going to be on PlayStation. There were some comments talking about how what I think has happened here, and this is what I think has happened, is that we have the Meta Quest that's been, really, really successful so far, really popular, has really been the dagger in the heart of PSVR, especially when it comes to marketing. But of course the new, the lighter, easier to use tech, wireless, things like that. People really like that, and there's of course those are valid reasons. But that is also mobile hardware. It is not powerful enough to support something like Unreal Engine 5. This, in combination with the Quest 2 not being able to support Unreal Engine, have the horsepower behind it, as well as PlayStation VR2 taking so long to come out, I think is a reason why they don't have anything prepared. I think they're focused on just current flat games right now, but it's nice to see that there still are some tool sets that can be used, and will be interesting to see what happens with those. But in the future, once PSVR 2 comes out, I think we might start seeing more features, more add-ons, everything, and more optimizations, all these different things that could come to PSVR 2 and the PS5 in particular. So while it was a little bit of a gut punch to me, because I've been waiting to see like what this Unreal Engine 5 technology can do with VR, it's okay. Like, they're still going to be able to use it. It just, to me personally, just needs more time. So give it some time. We're going to have to be really patient this gen. Everything got knocked back quite a bit. And, like I've always said before, I'm just happy there still is a booming game industry where there's still innovation and creativity and amazing technology that we haven't even gotten our hands on yet. That's going to just change the world, man. It's going to be absolutely incredible. So moving on, Play Magazine recently they have featured out they have featured PlayStation VR2 finally. I've been a subscriber of Play Magazine, which is formerly known as PlayStation Official Magazine UK. I've been subscribed to them for quite some time now because, as you may know, it might be kind of obvious, I love video game magazines. I always have, and they've been kind of hit or miss. But look, here's the truth, is that I do think that they've been improving quite a lot when it comes to PSVR. I don't really, some of the other stuff, the non-VR stuff I look at, but that's not really where what I'm interested in. That's not why I'm subscribed to them. Anyways, they featured PSVR2, and we're going to break down some really cool new info and insights that they shared from a Polyarc dev that they interviewed. But first, I want to interact with Arnold Morris. Says, what do you think Unreal Engine 5 and PC compatibility that so many PC users want PSVR2 on PC? If I understand that question correctly, so you're saying like what? So it's not just PSVR 2 that Unreal Engine 5 isn't like fully prepared for. It's VR in general. I don't think that VR has a strong enough player base on PC. It has a really strong one, of course, but not enough for these companies with investors, with all of these things. I mean, these are big, mammoth companies that have to be sustainable in their business models, and they, in the process, they're trying to create new technology, evolve technology, make things better for us. So they have to keep that in mind. And I think when it comes to PSVR 2 and PC compatibility, I actually was planning to originally have this discussion on this episode, but then the Unreal Engine 5 came up. I don't think so. I think the big benefit that PC VR is going to get is that developers are now going to be able to, they're going to now be able to develop games that target PlayStation VR 2, and then they'll have some residual sales on PC VR as well, whatever is not exclusive, of course. Sony is obviously investing lots and lots of money behind the scenes into this gen of VR. So, so what up, Nihilus? Ryan, the Game Feline said, I had a subscription to Nintendo Power, Game Pro, and EGM all at the same time. Ah, the 90s. I know, man. That was the good part of the 90s. But they're investing into the PSVR 2, into lots of this stuff behind the scenes. Obviously, they're already partnered with Unreal Engine 5, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of push and pull they can get out of this, and see how it develops. Eventually, once PSVR 2 is out and it's thriving, obviously more and more investors are going to get behind it. More and more developers are going to get behind it. There's already a shit ton of developers. I mean, this is where Sony is definitely going to try to be the premier place for VR. And so when it comes to exclusives, that's why I think they're going to keep a lot of their stuff exclusive. They'll probably do some timed exclusives, but hell, dude, I mean, the look at PSVR Gen 1. We had 2 exclusives this year. Year 6, with like such even with the majority of the player base everywhere else, they make these deals early and often. And so we got Moss Book 2 as an exclusive, which was amazing, by the way. I mean, I even feel bad for Polyarc. I'm like, man, I almost wish, in most cases I love exclusives, but in this case I was like, man, I almost wish it wasn't exclusive, so like more people could be playing it and enjoying it right now, because quite frankly, there's a smaller dedicated player base that's still into PSVR Gen 1, and it's just not as viable as it used to be. People are either waiting for PSVR 2 or they couldn't get their adapters or whatever. But PPO says PCVR compatible officially, or players will make it happen for PSVR2. So yeah, the thing about PCVR support with PSVR2 is there will be some like probably modders and stuff that make some kind of compatibility. PlayStation VR or PlayStation Studios does have a PSVR. I'm sorry, a PC. What is it, like PlayStation PC Studios that they seem like they trademarked or something? So their philosophies could change in time, but I don't. But I think all this stuff is like way down the line. I think maybe they're just preparing for the future or what. But Arnold, no problem, man. But anyways, let's get back to Play Magazine. We've got they sat down with Polyarc, principal engineer. Polyarc, for those who don't know, made Moss. And their former Bungie devs. I love the studio, man. Anytime, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Anytime Bungie makes VR stuff, it's usually really, really good. First we had Moss, then we had people over at, is it Highwire Games, I think, that made Golem, which minus a few design things, it was really, really good and did some things way better than a lot of games. Physics and combat in general is one of those. Well, what's up, Shades of Grey Matter? What's up, Mash Daddy Cool? But yeah, and then of course, Endeavor One, our good buddies who gave me this little furball back here, my Haru. Thank you so much, Endeavor One. Made Arashi Castles of Sin, and you know that game, Arashi Castles of Sin, was some fine-tuned sword fighting away from being a top 5, top 10 PSVR game. I mean, the level design, so many other things, but my point is that the former Bungie devs and Bungie devs in general are extremely, extremely talented and make good stuff. But anyways, let's talk about what's his name here. Of course, I had all this stuff prepared, but then you get on the spot and it's not as easy. Brendan Walker, the principal engineer at VR developer Polyarc, and Play Magazine asked him about some of his expert opinions. And I took some notes here. We're not going to read through the whole article, but I took some really, really important notes about what they covered and what they talked about. And there's some really interesting things in here. First off, they talk about eye tracking, which of course has been the big popular hot topic about PSVR 2 so far. And I don't think people realize how important this is going to be moving forward. It's really, this is one of those things where Sony gets to be the first to do it. They innovate, and this is one of those things that I think is actually going to make them, like I said, one of the, if not the premier place for VR. No other headset in history has had eye tracking just yet. And they teamed up with the global leader in Tobii for eye tracking technology. And we saw before some at the GDC video that they were demonstrating some tech demo-y stuff of the eye tracking in motion using the Unity engine. And it was quick. Like, it was really, really quick. I've got a whole nother, it was the last interactive chat. So if you missed that, make sure you go back and check that one out. But he talks about how eye tracking will help you. You'll see, it can see where you're focusing and put most of the detail locked straight into that. And he says the funny thing is that engineers are super excited about it, but that when it's working well, that we probably won't even notice it. Because we'll be, wherever our pupils are looking, it'll have the highest detail, and then our periphery vision, they're able to kind of like fade out the graphical fidelity, and it frees up, as we saw, a ton of GPU and CPU processing power. And he had the way he put it is, he says VR has been wasting a lot of rendering horsepower without eye tracking. And I thought that was a really cool statement. I love that, because yeah, I mean, it's again one of those things where it's like, this is really, eye tracking is a really big breakthrough in terms of VR and what it's capable of and how to further optimize it. And he says the design choices would prolong its usefulness and expects devs to further optimize throughout the PS5's console lifespan. So what he means here is that as the lifespan of the PS5 and PSVR2 go on, this eye tracking technology is only going to become even better, more optimized. Developers are going to discover new tips and tricks with it. Of course, like as we always know, typically by the end of a console lifespan is when we get some of the best games. If you look at the PS3, look at a launch PS3 game, and then look at, I think the last big game was The Last of Us. And The Last of Us looked almost like a PS4 game. It looked like a next-gen game. And the difference here is that with PSVR Gen 1, by the end of the console life cycle, instead of, like, we did get, technically, we are right now getting some of the best games on PSVR. Wander, Zenith, Stride is amazing. The Moss Book 2. But the problem is that the hardware did not keep up. The hardware really, instead of getting some of the best games to enjoy at the end of PSVR Gen 1, we really instead see PSVR 1's age really bad. What's up, VR Demon? Sacred Road, Imhotep, the Game Lion. He says, okay. Yeah, Nihilus Ryan, I loved Republic 2. Did you play that? I freaking loved Republic. I'm a big fan of that game. It's like Metal Gear Solid in VR. Metal Gear Solid VR missions or something. But anyways, so the thing is, so he mentions that eye tracking not only from a performance standpoint, how effective it can be, but from a gameplay standpoint. That's my jam right there. Gameplay. I'm all about the gameplay. And he says eye tracking from a gameplay standpoint can add 2-stage interactions, such as looking at an object to trigger a reaction and then interacting with it afterwards. These are just my own notes, so these aren't like direct quotes. But what he said was that he used as an example, let's say you're in a game in VR and you look at a flower. Suddenly that flower starts to bloom and then it opens up and then there's like a key inside and then you can reach in and grab that key or something else, a key, a lever, something to interact with. So eye tracking can add this 2-stage interactions, which I thought just the way he phrased everything is just super clean, super nice. I thought it was really, really cool. And let me make sure. Okay, I'm not missing anything here. Let's put the sizzle reel back on. But yeah, I thought that was a really, really good way to put it. Winds and Leaves, Nick the Game Cat out. Also a really great game. I really did like that game. Robert the Game Cat. Keys hidden in flowers are my childhood. What up, Robert? Rethmania. So good to see all you guys, man. Thank you for coming to chill and talk some PSVR, some PSVR2. So here we have some really, really other cool things that I'm going to share. Let's get rid of this one. So we had this Unity GDC thing last week, and it did show off a lot of the features. But so the next thing to talk about was the headset haptics that can deliver a variety of sensations. We've heard it a couple times now, a heartbeat, pulsing, all sorts of different things, submerging your head out of water. And we don't know all of the specifics on how the headset haptics are going to work, but let me tell you guys, I did learn something new recently. There's a guy on Twitter named Stike Gamer who reached out to me. Shout out to you, my friend. Thank you for always tagging me with info and stuff, and actually managed to catch something that I don't think anyone else did. So something that is really cool was that during that presentation, he actually examined the code that was on the screen, and he noticed in that code that the headset has 25 layers of intensity. So I thought that was really, really cool, really good attention to detail, man. That is a cool little fact. So the the headset is going to have a lot of different levels of intensity that can be utilized. Of course, I expect them to use it. Developers are going to probably use this with a little bit of caution at first, but I thought this was a great find. You can see that the frequency intensity of the haptic motor should be between 1 and 25, with 0 being off. And he just saw this. This was actually like just in the background of that stream. So I thought that was a really cool detail that he happened to find. So shout out to you, my friend, and good job with that. Anything else you want to point out to me? I'm all ears, homie. So not only the headset that has haptics, but the controllers as well. And one really cool thing actually that they pointed out. Now this was the principal engineer at Polyarc, and they kind of mentioned about Moss Book 2, and they say PlayStation's most petable little rodent could be even more strokeable with the Sense controllers. Imagine being able to actually feel the fur. So anyone that has a PS5 or has heard about it, you should by now have at least heard about it, know that the haptics in the controllers are a lot different than just the rotary motor that we've become accustomed to, that just kind of like, rotates really heavily and shakes a bunch. And this actually allows for more precise like haptics to hit around in the controller. And that technology is definitely in the PSVR2 Sense controllers, orbs. And that's going to allow things like he says here. Imagine, so this is what I imagine, man. We're already assuming that a lot of games are going to have PSVR2 remasters. We're actually not even assuming that. We know this because PSVR Without Parole actually leaked this from a developer summit back in like August of 2021. And this is literally from Sony's notes saying that what they're telling developers behind the scenes is that they're going to have a big focus on remasters. So what up, Portal Player? What up, Zach Wilder? Says Strokeability. Silent Evil 999. Good to see you guys. Donatello, the Scientist Game Cat. Yeah. I'm curious to see like more specifics about the haptics in the headset. As far as we know, it's just one motor, but we'll have to see if like what kind of uses that has. But what up, Herb? Thank you for dropping by, homie. But anyways, so this thing, yeah, it's just the way that they described everything. It just really puts it into a really interesting perspective. Things being able to, I was just talking about Arashi Castles of Sin, being able to reach out and touch Haru visually, even with the move controllers, visually, petting Haru was really cool and felt really good. But actually being able to feel like the fur on your fingertips, on your hands and stuff, that's like some next level shit is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Super, super cool stuff, man. So, but there's more here. Shades of Gray Matter says that in that presentation, they said it isn't directional, but they can use other techniques to imply direction, 3D audio haptics in the controllers. Right. Yeah, I mean, not everything has to be, a lot of stuff can be done with smoke and mirrors, just different parlor tricks, and you can do this. I was trying to think of the Bane quote, like, deception and theatricality. You were born in the darkness. I was molded by the orbs. Anyways, I digress. Oak V3D says Sony has a patent for an algorithm that basically remasters old games as they are being played. You're like playing it and it's like remastering as you're playing it. Sign me up for that job. I'll be that tester. Portal Player says, AJ, do you think PSVR 2 will have AR features? I would think so, man. It all depends on like how many different settings the camera can have. So we know that, even the PS4 camera, it can when it catches VR or tracks VR, it's in infrared, and then of course you can use it as a regular camera as well. So you'd have to imagine there's some kind of pass-through ability I'm sure they've seen what the Quest has been able to do, and that's how they use their Guardian technology, which is really nice for setting a play space for yourself. I think it's going to be essential. Now, when it comes to like actual AR games, that's another story. I mean, there's probably going to be I would be shocked if there weren't any like AR apps and things, but I don't think that's going to be the main focus. Maybe that's a byproduct of what happens, but I don't think that's going to be like a big focus. But I think that could be absolutely a byproduct of what it has. VR Demon says PSVR2 needs 40 times 40 support. When you sheath your sword, you can feel it go down your back. Yes. Yeah, all that stuff, man. All those little intricate details. I've said it before. I think I said it on the last Gamescast that details really go a long way when it comes to immersion. I was just playing this Lucky's Tale game, and like it has no light tracking. You use the DualShock. There's no interactions like physical interactions, but there's little things again that pop out to me that make the world feel more alive, make it feel more real. Things like when you put your face down and look at Lucky up close, he looks at you and he goes, "Hey," and he like waves to you or whatever. Or when you're using his little fluffy fox tail and you're smacking some grass, that grass moves. Moss and Moss Book 2 even and Polyarch mentioned that they called it boopables, which I think should be like a trademark thing. that's what we have to. That's what I'm going to call it. Just like I'm going to call them the orbs. They they just add. I think those things for me personally, they add a lot to the immersion. Great Tantrum says, AJ, I got great news. I'm going to reveal my name. It's lost signal. Ah, damn. Almost had you, JB. Oh man. Pietrek F says, what's the time in my country? It is 8:07 p.m., 8 o'clock at night. I'm still trying to, like I said, I appreciate you guys being here. I'm still trying to figure out a schedule and lots of different things. And I'm still, even with the stream, adding lots more features. I want to make this stream more immersive, more interactive, man. 'Cause that's what it's all about. Yep, I'm on the East Coast portal. But we're not done, guys. So there's a couple things left here from this Play magazine, some big ones, so stay tuned. But first, let's talk about some more of these features in the headset and controllers. They talk about finger touch detection and how it can allow movements to be more accurately reflected in game. So, I mean, that's basically pretty straightforward. Nick Milo says, I want to get immersed in your stream. Oh, well, maybe Astro can help with that. I'm just going to do the test donation. This isn't a real donation. CBD in Japan, what's up? Portal Player, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate it, homie. You get away from Quill. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what's going to make this more interactive. I got more features on the way too. I don't know if this works, but you can try an exclamation point and then put 8-ball and then space and then ask a question, and you might be able to ask an 8-ball a question. I don't know if that works just yet. But yes, if you unsubscribe and resubscribe, you will get away from Quill. I am, go for it. Have at it. Have fun, man. That's what it's all about. We are here to have fun and talk PSVR. We got a little bit of a wait ahead of us. So, well, thank you, Portal Player. And I'm glad, again, I'm glad that you showed that my thing here works. So I really, really appreciate it. What up, Gabriel? Good to see you, man. All right. So finger touch detection, obviously, they have the finger touch capacitors in the orbs, and it'll be able to tell like where your finger is placed around the controller. And as a result, they'll be able to more accurately reflect your hands and your gestures in game. And that's going to be really, just another layer of immersion there. And this was something so this final thing when it comes to the features on the hardware, this was something that I had mentioned. So I'm taking full credit for this one. No. But there was something that was mentioned later on at the end of this, and he says the tracking ring on the controller. And this was something I noticed a while back as well. but the tracking ring is actually on the back of the controllers. Oh, thank you, Donatello Scientist Game Cat. Says I yet want to see Astro again and hear that sound. So Donatello, here's the thing. One more time. I'm gonna probably have to tell you guys a couple times. If you use the link in the description, I believe, in theory, this is what's supposed to work. Streamlabs.com/ thanks, time to play. Streamlabs.com/ PSVR Underground. If you donate through there, you should get a Astrobot dance. The benefit to this, thank you, Shades of Gray Matter. I love this. Man, more Quill for everybody. You can never get enough Quill. When you donate through there as well, 100% of the donation goes to me. YouTube takes a lot of stuff. So, oh, there's your super chat though. Thank you. See, I need to fix this one. We're helping, you guys are kind of helping me test my stream as well. But yeah, man, thank you for the donations, guys. I appreciate you, man. And Black Eyes. Oh, you guys are the best, man. This is so fun for me. I could just watch you unsubscribe and resubscribe all day. PPO says, thought I'd say, AJ, you've seen the Tobii eye tracking demo, has a full world showing the different aspects of the uses. I did see something. I don't know if you're talking about the one where they're like flying around or whatever, but there's actually the Tobii eye tracking video that I know about. Be prepared here because I might need to mute this as soon as it pops up. I hope this isn't too loud. Let me just preemptively turn down the desktop audio so you can see what I'm talking about here. Some really, really impressive stuff. But there is a video file here that I'm going to put on, and it is showing, let's see here. Okay, here we go. This is an eye tracking demonstration.
You'll see in the top left
that was shown
selection using eye tracking.
The Unity
in the top right, you'll see the
that was kind of at the end
that we talked about, and then
here,
the bottom.
I'll zoom into this
you'll
part.
see where you can use eye tracking to do assistance in
what's
tool
going on
selection.
here
So you can
is
see
that
the arrow, the curve is kind of snapping toward the person who's looking rather than just where they're holding the controller.
Oh, shit. Hold on. Sal donated $10. Thank you, man. Can't wait for launch games to show all this off. Usually launch games go hard with all the thing. Oh, hold on. I got to see that donation. Thank you so much, man. Oh, man. I appreciate you guys, man. That is awesome. Hell yeah. Let's go. Oh, sweet. It tells me actually, I love Streamlabs. I can't wait for launch games to show this off. Usually launch games go hard with all the new tech for the good, bad. Yeah, man. Hell yeah, dude. Man, it's going to be a fun gen, you guys. We're just pre-gaming right now. We are pre-gaming for next gen, and it's already freaking exciting, man. I'm so excited. You have no idea. We haven't even seen the games other than Horizon Call of the Mountain yet. So that's really, really exciting shit. All right, so where were we? The tracking ring. The tracking ring on the orb controllers are placed behind on the back of the controller, more toward the back of the hand, and he says decreasing the chances of bumping the controllers together. This is something that I've brought up a couple times because one thing I actually like about the Move controllers is that I didn't have a lot of problems when I had to have my hands close together. I didn't have anything like bumping into each other, and that's something that happens with the Quest. You know, the Quest has far superior tracking to the PSVR, but they put that ring on the top of it, and anytime I wanted to cock a gun or something, I always hit the controllers together. I'm sure you get used to it. I mean, I got used to the Move controllers, so thanks, Flamehat. But yeah, man. So anyways, that is going to be a really, really important thing for gameplay. I think it's a bigger deal than it's like one of those subtle design, but they talk about the design of the controllers overall. And I did just see a patent recently that might, or they mention in the article as well, that it has wrist straps or something. I don't know if they were just assuming that, but so here's a couple more really interesting things before we get out of here. This is the last stuff we want to take a look at. So they talk about some of the games that are on the way. That only really Horizon Call of the Mountain has been announced, and that's true. That's going to be the only one that's announced right now. Hold on. But I don't know if they like secretly confirmed some other games here, or at least know something. But I have used Play Magazine in the past that have given some hints, and then they were actually right about that. I think the last thing I can think of was the 32-person multiplayer coming to No Man's Sky. But they talk about Star Tenders, which is a game that's supposed to be coming out soon and disappeared. And they say the spacey bartending game will debut on PSVR before making its way to PSVR2. Zushing up fruit and rattling tumblers for an intergalactic clientele is bound to benefit from improved haptics. So, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of weird that they would say that. I think, obviously, we have confirmation right there that Star Tenders will be a PSVR2 game. Coatsink's new game, publisher Thunderful, which put out PSVR's Ghost Giant. Ghost Giant's so good, man. Highly recommend it. It goes on sale a lot. Ghost Giant has confirmed, or Coatsink has confirmed, it is working on something for PSVR 2. We know the studio best for Fogs, which is PHOGS. I've never heard of it, but it's developed a number of VR games, including Esper for PSVR. So they say looking ahead, and these are the games that they mention. Looking ahead, they mention. Now, this isn't confirmation or anything. I think this is somewhat of a anticipated list, a wish list, if you will, that Play Magazine has. Maybe they have a little bit more insight into this as well. But they've done this before, and they've been right. They talk about Half-Life Alyx. They say, while this is currently exclusive to Valve's hardware, the PC publisher has a history of working with Sony dating back to PS3, when you could even link your Steam ID. This prequel to Half-Life 2 has you playing as Alyx, interacting with first-person setting, blah, blah, blah. There's no chance the older Move controllers could handle it, but with the orbs, a port may finally be possible. I got to really give Play Magazine some props here for calling them the orbs so much. I'm proud of you guys. Another game they talk about is Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge. They've said, while we've had versions of Star Wars Squadrons and Vader Immortal, this chill adventure remained absent from PSVR. It's a neat set of stories framed around a tight yet functional first-person shooter. Particular attention has been paid to the character performances, and the tales put you in a variety of Star Wars situations. It came into its own with the Last Call DLC last year, so PSVR 2's launch would be the perfect time to release it as a single force packed package. I see what you did there. Lone Echo 1 and 2. Space is and by the way, the whole Tales from the Galaxy's Edge thing, yeah, we had Vader Immortal come out. That was also an Oculus thing, or ILM X Lab game that I thought would never make its way to us, and it eventually did. They talk about Lone Echo 2, which is a game that I personally have been really interested in. But they say impressive fidelity helps offset any motion sickness in the game, and that could be why it never came to PSVR in the first place. And that's it's published by Oculus Studios. It's developed by Ready at Dawn, which Ready at Dawn, I don't want to confuse them with the Order 1886 people, but they might be the same people. Walkabout Mini Golf, which is a game that I've actually talked to the Coconut, what are they called? Mighty Coconut developers. And the thing about them is that they're new to VR. They're new to game development, and they're really cool guys, people. And I talked to the lead guy over there once during the interactive chat, the VR chat show, Jason's gig over there that he does the interviews in Rec Room. And we asked him about PSVR and PSVR 2, and he was all for it. He was like, yeah, I'd love to do it. He's like, I just don't know what I'm doing. he's like, I didn't even know if I'd be able to make a VR game, period. And we just happened to stumble and release a game that is finding some success on the Quest. So this is one. So Walkabout Golf has a big chance of coming to PSVR2. It sounds like, unless Oculus locks them down, but I don't think so. I don't think they will, but it'll be interesting. But we need a social golf game for sure. So finally, the last one they mentioned is Resident Evil 4 VR. Now, we recently got news that Capcom is they have PS5 versions of Resident Evil 2, 3, and 7 on the way. Actually, I think that includes, and there is a 4 remaster as well. They say, we've long said that Resident Evil 7's PSVR mode was one of the best ways to play the game and one of the scariest experiences you could have. A shame, then, that the similar take on Resident Evil 4 isn't possible on the original hardware. As you become Leon Kennedy, and he says, the hordes of Las Plagas move up close and personal as you fend them off. Will eat a blood-stained chainsaw if it doesn't make it to PSVR 2. So they're saying that they think that it would. I think if we got a version, I don't think we'd get the Quest version. I think we'd get the one that's the remake version, and I think that could be converted. I hope the entirety of the Resident Evil series gets remade, gets made for VR, and I think that there's a chance that it happens, because I think we already know that Resident Evil 7 uses RE Engine, Resident Evil 8 Village uses RE Engine, and so I think what they can do is similar to like what they did with Hitman, and that is, I think what they could do is they use that same engine, design the PSVR 2 tools for Resident Evil Village, and I think they can use some of those tools potentially and go back and rework Resident Evil 2, 3, and 4, and 7 as well. I think that would be an amazing thing to get the entire series in VR. It could bring it back. But yeah, man, Salvador, what? You bought a beanie? Salvador bought a beanie. What? Dude, thank you so much, man. Oh, I've got my beanie on the way, too. I'm so excited. Dude, that is awesome, man. Dude, thank you. That's amazing. I'll show you guys, let's see here. Let's go beanie. Dude, that's amazing, man. I got so excited about the merch that I bought some stuff myself. And I'm going to make a whole bunch of custom stuff to do for giveaways. I'm nearing 8,000 subscribers, and I would love to give back to you guys. I want to buy some of my own merch and test run it and experiment with it. There's a lot of different options, and I think they would make for great giveaways. And I'll have more details on that later. I don't have a lot of details on that at this time. I sound very PR right now. But I really, really want to give back. This is just one of the beanies here. This is the black and white one. There's, of course, the blue. And, yeah, I might be upgrading my beanie soon. I might have to retire this one because I'm really, really excited here. Let's see if we can get a preview of what this is going to look like. This is not working. Wait, let's see if I can. Hold on. I don't even know how to do this. There we go. A sneak preview at the future of how these live streams are going to work. Oh man. Yeah. Perfect fit. I'll just be a talking beanie from now on. There you go. The rest of the shows are just like this. I'm just a beanie and a chin. Oh, well guys, really appreciate you coming to this first interactive chat. I'm going to try to do these weekly. Eventually, if not right now, eventually I'm going to get these totally set up to be like a weekly thing. I got to get a time and it's going to be a fun ride, man. So strap in. Of course, going to find me on Gamescast, PSVR Gamescast Live over on PSVR Without Parole. So make sure you subscribe over there as well and get ready for those. Monday at 6:00, and these are going to be every Thursday, so it's not going to conflict with that schedule at all. and we hope to bring you as much PSVR content as possible. Before we get out of here, though, I'm going to do a little bit of a shout out for you guys. And I'm also going to show you my brand new intro for my streams. I hope you like it. I'm going to test it here too to see for myself. You guys have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for all the donations, man. Thank you, Sal, for buying a beanie. That's amazing, dude. There's zero profit on that merch right now. So I know after some fees, it kind of adds back up, but I'm not making anything. That is not for profit. That is just for if you want some gear. So, but yeah, thank you guys so much, man. I'll show you the new intro. Let's get out of here.
Here we go. You'll see in the top left, selection using eye tracking. In the top right, you'll see the